Everybody, hope you and your family are doing well. Wanted to give you an update. Sent out a file earlier on our Remind app, and I'm going to send out an update on that. Just made a couple of changes to it. But anyway, it's about some home workouts that you can begin doing. So parents, players, this will be important for you to try to start doing. I know obviously some of you are limited on what you have with weight equipment and so on. So what we tried to design is something that you can use whether you have a lot of weight equipment, whether you have none. And so I think now's the time that we need to start getting ourselves in shape. We're going to be able to do some things this summer, we hope. That's still the plan. We're progressing as Jefferson County Public Schools will allow us to do. And so we're going to abide by those guidelines for sure, but we're going to make sure that what we do, we're ready to do when we get started. And so if you want to be ready for that, then certainly we'd love for you to follow along. I'm going to explain a little bit about what's on that particular workout sheet. If you didn't get that, then you're probably not on our Remind app, and so please make sure to send me a message. I'll give you the codes for that if you're not in that. So, and also with that, please make sure to pass along, as I mentioned in the previous video, to incoming freshman parents and players that certainly we would love for them to go ahead and join those groups, those Remind groups, and to follow along on the PRP Baseball Parents page on Facebook. So what I've got here on the sheet, if you look at it, if you've got that pulled up there, maybe on your phone or tablet or whatever, if you've printed it out, you'll see that basically it's a push-pull legs kind of split. And so day one, whichever day you choose for day one, you'll see it's push and abs. So we're mixing in abs 3 days a week, hip mobility 2 days a week. We're mixing in a conditioning day for Hawksville and so on. But you'll see the push day, if you look at that there, it says push. You're doing 4 to 6 sets of each exercise unless you're doing the pyramid. Now, if you're going to do the pyramid, I would encourage you to start with 1 and then see how you're doing. And so the way the push-up pyramid goes is to start with 5 push-ups. So you do 5 push-ups, then you do a 30-second plank. Then you do 6 push-ups, a 30-second plank, 7 push-ups, 30-second plank, and you just keep going until you're doing the 20 push-up rep. And so it's around up to 200 and some push-ups, I believe, and then the planks are in between. So if you need to know how to do push-ups, we want elbows in more than we want elbows out. We don't want to flare those elbows and hurt the shoulders, so elbows in, and then we push. And so then the plank obviously is just a straight body plank, and that's what we're going with. So on the push-up pyramid, if you don't have access to bench press and things like that, then what I would do is do the push-up pyramid, the chair dips, and the clap push-ups if you can do them, and that would be your push day. So the chair dips, obviously you're just on a chair and you're just going behind you. That's kind of how that works. The clap push-ups is a push-up with a clap in between. You land on back on the ground, see how many you can do. Bench press, we want to focus on flat, incline, and decline if you've got the availability for those things. And then triceps, overhead triceps, grab your dumbbells and you go in overhead like this. If you've got access to a machine for pull down, or you can do the extension, of course, behind you. And so whatever variation of those you can do, 4 to 6 sets. If you're going to do the push-up pyramid, then I would maybe kind of see how you feel and then go from there if you can do the rest of it. But the push-up pyramid, the chair dips, and the clap push-ups should be able to be done if you don't have any access to a weight room at all. And so that's what that's there for. If you've got access to a weight room, then the rest of these things can be mixed in. And so that's what we're going with there. So that's the push day. Then you see it's push abs on day one. You see the abs, which is scissors. So your legs are like this. They're straight out. You're going this. Then it's flutter. They're up and down. And then it's a hold. It's a straight leg lift. Then with the reach through there, as you'll see, is you're in a crunch position. So your legs are crossed with your knees kind of pulled towards you, and you're reaching through to touch your heels. Reach through your legs to touch your heels. The bicycle, obviously, is your legs just kicking in a bicycle format. And then the twist is where you are kind of halfway up and you're twisting back and forth. It's pretty simple. So the abs is 30 seconds each. So there's no rest in between those. You take a rest and then do a total of 3 sets. So that's the way that goes. The speed workout, speed and hips, will if you look over there on the page, there's several things there that you can do on the speed workout. I would really, really, really love for you to do all of the speed workout. I think it's going to be huge for us. That's one of the things we're going to have to focus on moving forward. Obviously, we've got some guys that can hit. but we want a lot of guys who can run a whole lot better than they can right now. And so that's what we're looking for. So you see some of the stuff there. The tuck jump is where you're jumping and bringing your knees up, not your ankles or your heels up, but bringing your knees up and touching them with your hands. The kick over is where you've got a tee or something and you're kicking your legs over. So you go over, 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 over. That's how it goes. You guys that were with us during conditioning this past year, you've done that. And then the circle run is where you put a towel or something and you run around in one particular direction, head facing the same way. Your feet are moving, head facing the same way. You do that for 30 seconds and then you switch and go 30 seconds the other way. So that's part of it. And then you do, of course, you do those as a superset. There's no rest in between. You just boom, boom, boom. That's what you go with. Then we've got the 4 cone drills listed there. Those are 5 yards apart. So you're making a square that we've got 4 cones, 2 and 2, 5 yards apart. And you'll see there that you start one, it's sprint, 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 sprint. Sprint shuffle. So it's kind of, it's a side shuffle, then a back pedal shuffle, back pedal diagonally. So you go across the square and then sprint over, then back pedal diagonal, then sprint over. Then you sprint diagonally, back pedal over, sprint diagonally, and then back pedal over. And then you go straight on sprint, karaoke, back pedal, shuffle. And so we've got those 5. And so those are just some agility drills. That's what we work in there. And then we've got the falling start and the kneeling start. I'll try to post some video of that here on our, probably on our Instagram account at some point to show you more what that's like. If you guys were with us last year, then you'll know what that is. If you weren't, then you don't have to try to make it up. And then you've got the 10s, 20s, and 30s, and that's a 10-yard sprint, 20-yard sprint, 30-yard sprint. And we're doing all of those from a base stealing position. So we're going to do our drop step, and we're going to take off trying to get to full speed as quick as we can. And then you've got 5, 10, 5. So you basically on that, you guys were with us in the past, you know what this is. So you've got cones, you've got a cone here, and a cone here. So this is 5, this is 5. So 5 yards apart on each of those. And so you start in the middle, you run 5, you run all the way back to 10, and you finish again in the middle. So it's 5, 10, and then 5. That's the way that goes. So anyway, we'll try to post some video of that as well. And then the hip mobility that you'll see there, I'm going to put on our Instagram page some of the things there that will be helpful. The 90-90, I'll show you what that is. The 90-90, the side bend with the twist, and then the frog position, all just working on our hips, trying to strengthen and loosen those up a little bit. So that would be a day 2. That's speed and abs. Then you've got, or speed and hips rather. Then you've got pull and abs. So you've already seen the abs. If you look at what the pull is, you've got pull-ups and chin-ups, and then you've got the lawnmower, which is with the dumbbell, the lawnmower pull, a bent over row, so typically with dumbbells or with a straight bar. Then you've got curls, in and out shoulder. So you're doing a very light weight on the in and out shoulder. And so it's here, and then it's out. So it's in, and then it's out. Pretty straight arms on that. And then the chair rows, I'll post the video on that. But basically what you're doing is you're pulling yourself up in between 2 chairs. And so if you can't really do the bent over row, there's some ways to do that. And then of course lat pull down. So what we're focusing there on are all the pull things. Now I know that sometimes this may be tough if you don't have a weight room, but certainly we want you to try to find some way that you can at least do some pull-ups and some chin-ups. And if you can do those things, particularly the pull-ups, if you can do just the underhand grip pull-ups, those are going to be big. We're going to focus a lot on that this year. So that would be the pull day. Then, of course, you go back to speed and hips. And then we go to legs and abs on day 5. You see the legs. If you can do squat and you've got weights, then do just a regular back squat. If not, you can do a pistol squat, which is basically where you are standing and you squat down with one leg out and the other leg goes down. And so you're squatting down, one leg is out and the other leg squats, and you come back up and then you switch. And so reverse lunge, obviously you can do that with the barbell on your back. That's what we prefer. You can do dumbbells if you don't have it. Do something with some weight for the reverse lunge and try to make sure it's good form. What we want to do there is step into that every time. We don't want to just get in the position and go up and down. We want to actually step into it, lunge it, step back, and then switch legs. The hip, the glute bridge, glute extension, I'll post some video on. The hip thrust, you can look that up and on a weightlifter site, and they'll show you what that is. The bowler squat, I'll post video on that too. A wall sit is pretty simple. You're going to be at a 90 degrees sitting against the wall, and you do that for 60 seconds. We'll have a little competition this summer and fall is to see who can do the longest wall sit. Calf raises, so you're going to go calf raises. You're going to go straight calves, then you're going to take them and you're going to point your toes out, and then you're going to point your toes in. And box jump is pretty self-explanatory. If you've got something like that, you can do that. So that would be day 5. Now, Hawksville is our conditioning day on day 6, whichever day that day 6 may be for you. And we do 30 seconds each of these, no rest, and we do 4 sets. So at first we start off with high knees, and then we do butt kickers, and then you do a mountain climber, and then we go into a plank. Then we do crunches, then we do a straight leg lift, and then we do what we call fielding position, or for catchers, it would be what we call our secondary position. And so you're just down, your hips are bent, and you're down in a fielding position, and then jumping jacks. So you do each of those for 30 seconds, and you do 4 sets of those. And so you kind of do the math. There's 4 minutes for each. So you're doing 16 minutes of that. That would be on day 6. And then day 7 is going to be a rest day, or if you've been with us, we've done the tennis balls before, where you take a tennis ball and you lay on the ground and you roll it through your back, and you work all the way down your back and then all the way down your legs, and then you do arms and so on. If you've never done that before, some of our guys really liked it. Seemed to help them recover a little bit, stretch out the muscles and so on. And then I've got on there days 1 through 6 is skill work. Some of this is going to be tough for guys to do. We understand that. But I've listed some things that you might want to consider starting to work on, knock the rust off a little bit if you haven't been able to get out much and do some of this. So again, just some basic drills, basic stuff. And one of the things we want to make sure that if you are going out to throw at all, that you are doing arm care, that you are using the bands every day, that you are not just going out and chucking the ball as far as you can. You guys are not ready for that. And I know you might think you are, but you are probably not ready. If you have not been throwing 4 to 5 days a week during all of this and throwing long, then you are not ready to go out and start now trying to throw long. So please do not be stupid and go out and do that. That's not what we're asking you. What we are asking you to do is to begin the process of getting your arm back in shape. We're going to spend a lot of time this summer making sure that we take care of arms, but we're going to need your help with it. And so if you're going out to throw because it's getting warmer and you're getting out more, you've got to make sure to take care of your arm. One of the things you can do, as I said, is the bands. You might also be able, if you've got a heavy ball, and in fact, what we use a lot of times are those sand-filled balls that you use when you were in Little League, you used to hit with, so they wouldn't go very far. And you can just work on arm shape, and that ball will force you. We don't throw those very far. We're maybe 5 to 10 yards away is all we're throwing those. We don't throw those for distance. We don't chuck those to try to build arm strength. We're working on arm shape. And so those are some things that you can do. When it comes to offense and to hitting, I know most of you probably do not have access to a cage anywhere. We can't open ours yet, so this is not something that we're requiring you to do. But if you are going to be working on some things, you'll see some stuff there that we've done in the past. And certainly, if nothing else, just get out and swing a bat. Just get out and get in the practice. Loosen up those muscles again. It might make you sore a little bit, but go ahead and get in the habit of doing those things. And so some of this stuff will cause some questions, there's no doubt. If you have questions specifically, let me know, and I'll be happy to try to explain that, post some videos and so on of some stuff that we want you to try to start doing. The main thing is to start knocking the rust off, and we understand that you're probably out of condition for the most part, and we know that's the case. And so whenever we are able to start with some team activities this summer, we want to make sure that guys come in with at least having done some activity so far. So whether that's getting out and sprinting, doing some running, doing the push-pull days as best you can, you don't have to have a weight room to do all that stuff. So anyway, that's the home workout sheet that I sent earlier through the Remind app. I'm going to post that again to Remind because I've made a couple of adjustments on that just to kind of clean that up a little bit. Main thing that we want you to start focusing on is what are you going to be doing? What are you doing to make yourself the most complete player that you can be? Some of you guys are good players, and some of you are still works in progress, and we know that. But all of us have lots of things that we can do. Whether you're a senior or whether you're an incoming freshman, there's a lot that you can work on. And so please make sure that you are never satisfied with where you are, that you are doing everything you can to get bigger, faster, stronger, to work on whatever it is skill-wise, whether you're an infielder, outfielder, pitcher, catcher, whatever you may be, that you need to work on in order to become better. And so what we expect the rest of our summer, at some point, we believe that JCPS will give us the green light to go ahead and start meeting together. And we will do that. We'll be very clear on the expectations on how we have to do that to maintain distancing, to keep ourselves healthy, and so on. There will be restrictions on that. It's just the way that it's going to be. But we're going to make the most of it. We're going to try to get a lot out of it. So we'll be in touch about that. I'll post both on Remind and post some video about what that's going to look like. If you've got any questions, please let me know. And don't forget, if you know of incoming freshmen, they're already enrolled at PRP. That's who we're talking about. We're not talking about random people. We're talking about folks that are already enrolled at PRP. Please let them know. Give them my phone number. Pass it along. If they've got questions about any of this stuff, they can certainly let me know. So holler at me if you need to, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys soon. Hope you have a great day.